السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Welcome to a new episode in our series إن أريد إلى الإصلاح ما استطعت. Today we are talking about a very critical problem. A problem that each and every one of us can face, and a problem that would have serious implications on your iman, on how people perceive you, on your life in general. Have you seen that person who is always considering himself right? He always believes that he doesn't do any mistake. He's never wrong. He's never able to apologize whenever people confirm to him that you have done something wrong. And he looks down on others. This is arrogance. And subhanAllah, arrogance is a barrier for you to grow as an individual, for you to grow as a human being, for you to learn more. It's an obstacle to personal and societal reform. But the key to reform is, on the other hand, is humility. Be able to humble yourself. A humble person is willing to learn, is open to grow, and eager to make himself better every day. So our topic today is humility, breaking arrogance to reform. So how can we actually make sure to beat our own ego in order for us to make sure that the entire society is growing, and more importantly, growing through us as agents of change? So today I will be sharing with you multiple proofs from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. So today, for example, the Prophet ﷺ is telling us that whoever humbles himself for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will elevate him. The hadith in Sahih Muslim. So arrogance here makes you blind to your own faults. And the Prophet ﷺ is clearly indicating to us that humility, on the other hand, elevates you in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because it opens your eyes to I wouldn't say only your problems, but your room for improvement as a human being. So the more that you humble yourself, the more that Allah elevates you. The other hadith that is actually scary, frightening, the Prophet ﷺ is saying that no one with a weight of an atom in his heart of arrogance shall enter paradise. That's actually very, very frightening. So if you think even a tiny amount of arrogance isn't acceptable, it can ruin your life. And not only that, it will definitely ruin your hereafter. You shall not enter paradise. And the third one here is the leader of people. The third hadith is the leader of a people is their servant. So that's in Sunan Abu Dawood, and it's hadith Hasan. So leadership here is about service. You are not superior to others when you are claiming that you are a leader. It's completely the opposite. The best leaders are those who are always serving their people, who are always seeking their power through humbling themselves, not seeking power over people. So if you think that you are better than others, then definitely this is a first sign of arrogance. And subhanAllah, based on how we understand so far the results of arrogance, no agent of change or no seeker for reform can be an arrogant at all. It's like both of them, they won't go along with each other at all, right? So obviously the Prophet ﷺ has given us the amazing example of humbling himself. The Prophet ﷺ used to be sitting with everyone, used to be sitting with the boy, used to be sitting with servants, used to be sitting with الأئمة, like the young girl, and even to the extent that the young girl used to be taking his hands and walking with him in the streets as if he is a normal human being. Because this is who he was and how he actually wanted to capture the hearts of people by his humility and humbleness. So now, let's go through a very, very concrete set of actions that would allow us to beat our arrogance. Number one, listen more than you speak. Humble people do listen a lot. And I would tell you something, it's not just humble people. Successful people listen more than they speak. If you even go and watch these billionaires and watch these successful entrepreneurs, successful, accomplished people in their lives, they listen more than they speak. So making it a habit of truly listening to others before responding actually is a first step towards beating your ego and controlling your anger, controlling your arrogance. The second thing here is be courageous enough to admit your mistakes. There is nothing wrong whatsoever that you commit a mistake, but the real wrong action here is to keep denying the truth. الكبر بطر الحق وغمط الناس. So do not actually oppose the truth. Do not know for a fact that you are mistaken and avoid or reject asking for forgiveness and asking for forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but more importantly seeking the excuse and admitting your mistakes and apologizing to others. Finally, perform acts of service. Acts of service, naturally, when you give your time for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, naturally humbles yourself. When you understand that your time, which is the most precious wealth that you have, Imam al-Hasan al-Basri says, يا ابن آدم إنما أنت أيام إذا ذهب يوم ذهب بعضك. O son of Adam, you are nothing but a series of days. If one day goes by, part of you is gone and you don't have access to it all the way till the day of judgment. So if you go and actually go and give this time for the sake of Allah, put in the time in a soup kitchen, put in the time in feeding the hungry, in helping needy and so on, put in the time for doing low-level jobs. Go clean the bathrooms of your mosque. Go feed people. Let them break iftar. Let them break their fast. Give everyone a date by the time of iftar. Do something which is even more involved and more engaged, that would require you putting in more time. All of this naturally allows you to humble yourself. Final thoughts here. Your worth is not in your status. Your worth is in your character. So Ramadan is a golden opportunity for you to be able to humble yourself, to train yourself on being a humble person. So the question here is, are you going to capitalize on the opportunity? Yes or no? The choice is yours. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be among those people whom whenever they listen to the truth, they follow the best out of it. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم وجزاكم الله خيرا, and have a beautiful Ramadan.